Pathways Through to Space, an experiential journal by Franklin Merrell-Wolff, continued. Preface to the second edition. It is now more than 36 years since the precipitation of the inner events which led to the writing of this volume. It may be said now that the value of this unfoldment remains as high as it ever was. It is true that I would place this treasure far above anything which may be obtained in the ordinary world field, in whatever domain, such as achievement in government, in business, in science, philosophy, mathematics, or the arts. All these stand as values far inferior to these greater values which come from fundamental realization. It remains true to my present state of consciousness that I would say that no accomplishment in the world field can be effective in solving the wrongness which is so evident in that field, without the insight and resources which are derived from fundamental realization. Therefore, it follows that all the efforts of man to solve his own problems, make life richer, and free it from the manifest evils which we see all about, is ineffective in the sense of achieving an effective resolution. As we look at the report recorded in the pages of history, we see the evils which were there in the past are still here today, and even find that those evils have become, if anything, greater than they were before. As we advance in our scientific knowledge, we not only implement the powers of good that may be in the world, but we also implement the powers of evil, with the result that the old difficulties, the old wrongnesses, return again, if anything, in amplified form. Therefore, if we are to resolve in any durable way these difficulties that call for the function of redemption, it is necessary that more and more of this human whole should attain the perspective and the resources that come from enlightenment. The traditional solution to the wrongness has been in the form of a retreat from the world field, but it is here suggested that this is not the only possible way. There may be such a thing as transforming the very field of outer action to such an extent that that field itself becomes redeemed and transformed, with the result that noble purpose is not distorted into ignoble effects. The task before us is religious in the deepest meaning of that word, but as we look upon the record of traditional religion, it must be judged that traditional forms of religion have failed egregiously. This applies to all the religions that we know, less to some than to others, but so far the record of traditionalistic religion is one of essential failure. As it appears to me, that which is needed is a seeking for the ultimate attainment on the part of as many people as possible, attainment which is the very essence of the religious search. Furthermore, the seeking of this attainment is not simply for the sake of one's own individual redemption, but for the sake of the redemption of humanity as a whole, and, in addition, of all creatures whatsoever, however humble they may be. He who forgets his own attainment and his own redemption in seeking for the attainment and redemption of all creatures is following the path which is most certain to involve that very attainment and redemption for himself. The motive should always be the good of all creatures, not one's own private good. Franklin Merrell-Wolff, Lone Pine, California, January 1973.